Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back with another video with Linksy. Today we have a battle between the Honey Badgers Brigade and SBG. We have Ulfir, Dan and Maximus Decimus Meridius who are playing as the attacking team. We have the Seleucids, we have Arveni, and we have Gatii over there. And defending there is Kush, Egypt and Nervii, who are defending as Gissa, I can't pronounce that name, Martin and RMS team as the Nervii, who are playing for SBG. So right off we have a battle in Heta Olympus. I probably did not pronounce that right. Is it this case? We had a little bit of a skirmish over here. A couple of these archers were brought down. Actually quite a bit of those archers were taken down. We're looking at 24 archers over there. The walls are being bombarded by the artillery over here. Okay, he's going for the artillery, trying to take it down. Wouldn't personally go for that. I would actually try and hit over here, getting all of those Cartly X-Men done in one go. Another very viable tactic that not many people do is breaking down this wall, and that gives you an avenue to shoot your artillery and archer fire into the city, doing a lot of damage from that angle. It also works on this angle. You break this or you break this, these walls, and you're able to shoot inside the settlement and do a lot of damage. So they're shooting the artillery, and that was very close, very close. I could have hit those carrion X-Men and done a lot of damage, and it's coming in. Oh, it's hitting in, and it's causing the carrion X-Men to be pulled out, and they're being pulled down here. That's a really good use of that artillery, scourging off those two units. Heavy spears are being pushed in along with Celtic warriors. These siege towers are being pulled up on the walls. The slave infantry taking a decent amount of damage. These ones not so much, and they're trying to see. This is something I like. They're attacking from multiple angles. So they're attacking from here. They're attacking from this side. They have a lot of troops left in reserve over here. Their armies: Torok swordsmen, silver shield pikemen, royal peltasts. Syrian archers. I quite disagree with the lack of cavalry and the lack of. I mean, they do have some Taurus spears. As they have an Oathsworn unit there. Two Oathsworn units. Where's cavalry, man? Why don't people get more cavalry? It's needed. Yeah, I mean they do have spears out here, but if the defense decides to sell out with a large volume of cavalry, you'll not be able to deal with them. One or two cavalry units is enough to just pin them down, and then you do the rest. Dacian heavy bowmen. It's a decent choice. 30 armor, 15 melee defense, do decently well. The corner being taken down over there and next to the gate, two decent areas. I would have perhaps put one of these two over here, just done a gap on this side. Just right about here, taking off all of this for my necessary need. There are some Egyptian infantry on the wall over there, which are getting pinged down by those guys. The artillery on the wall is on the inside of the settlement, so taking part of the last stand, which is an interesting choice. Well, let's put it this way: it could be proved very useful, because having the artillery towards the end of the game, and it seems from the choice of artillery, there's only giant ballistas, no movable artillery inside the settlement. This is a choice that a large number of people keep doing time and time again. That artillery shot is going off the long band over there. Totalwars and Numidians taking the place there. So there's a bomb. This gives a choice for a lot of bombardment options. Fierce swords setting up, Kushite slaves, lots of fierce swords for the Nervii component over there. So that's going to be interesting. The slave infantry over there down 60 men more. Okay, they're going to do large breaches on this side, which is understandable, but they're ignoring that side completely. They're defending their artillery, and they're taking their time to assault the settlement, which again, it is a good idea. I wouldn't have left these Gallic hunters this undefended. I mean, yes, they are hidden, but cavalry can come out easily from this gate and just come out here and ruin them, as they would be charged from the flank. Hillmen getting off the siege tower and charging in forward, possibly to draw the attention of this ballista, or else getting over here. The general is being targeted by the ballista, which is impolite. Generally, a general sniping the first 5-10 minutes of the game is considered to be slightly impolite, not something people often do. Okay, so they've breached the walls, but there are decent kill boxes. They're pulling back. Okay, they're creating a larger kill box over there. There's a lot of slave infantry over here. Honestly, this artillery could do a lot of damage shooting into here. Archers placed here could melt this while the assault is going on. And the Seleucids are pushing in more tortoises, so they're pushing that. Syrian heavy archers are being brought in. The Gallic hunters are being pulled in, and let's see, this is a really good use of these hillmen, which are being used to screen the attacker as they are going forward. Now at this point the assault should prepare to start, either emptying the bombardment entirely to here. Oh Jesus Christ, I don't know why I get the yawns whenever I do a Rome 2 replay, but then again, it's been a long day. I've been studying all day, so my brain is a little bit fried from reading several different laws. So this ballista over here could theoretically go for this, break down these walls. And again, this is important. I cannot stress this enough. Breaking down this wall, it's giving you another avenue to shoot inside the settlement and not have the need to arc a lot. And gives your archers a better, decent shot inside the settlement, which is needed when you have a fortress, a citadel, that sort. They're moving in. They're waiting with patience. Now I would pull these heavy spears back, because if this wall... Okay, they're breaking this, not this one, which is interesting. So they're making breaches over there. They might have to pull this back, and this wall is being pushed back heavily. Artillery is coming in. That was a decent shot in those fierce swords, getting a lot of kills over there. And the wall goes down. This unit loses 10 warriors, those Celtic warriors. Archers finding the avenue to shoot into those fierce swords. Pretty clean shots. More tortoises getting onto the walls really easily, and the line of defense is what it is. Fierce swords over there being pushed back, form pressure. The heavy spears are charging in. The Gallic hunters over here are getting into a really good position, but unfortunately they're not putting enough pressure on that side. He realizes, it seems RMST realizes Ant is putting his troops back there, even though they're under archer fire, and a lot of Celtic warriors are coming in. This unit of Kushite slaves is not going to have a good time. Now, this is going to, this is going to glitch out. Yeah, that unit glitched out, and they will need to use that artillery to take that wall out, because it was not synchronized properly. They basically need, when this is hitting the last one, that needs to be doing the action. Heavy spears charge in against Celtic warriors, engaged. Celtic warriors are charging. Yeah. Damn elements. Sorry, one got stuck in my throat over there. Mercenary X warriors coming in. Celtic warriors just streaming in. Hillmen just streaming in as well. So a lot of troops are being pushed in. Peel is being used by the defense in vast quantities, and yeah, this Pila shot is going to be brutal by these slave infantry if they get their Pila out. And yeah, how many kills? 11 kills out of the bat. I'm 20 kills actually. Yeah, that unit is dead, but this unit over here, this fierce swords unit, is getting bombarded. That artillery is being used to really good effect from that distance, and that's very rare to see. These slave infantry are pushing in. I would use that artillery to break this down. You have the possibility to do so. I'm not sure if you have the angle. Put one on that on the wall, and take this wall down and charge in, because you'll be able to surround this entire area. The hillmen and the heavy spears are being pushed in, and they're being pulled back, and it is making a lot of an impact over there. Archers are firing in. These Celtic bowmen are doing a lot of damage. This is a kill box, which is why desperately they need this hillman to break through either on this side to create a little bit of pressure from the rear, but they need to also start charging in from there, which they are not. They're putting a lot of their force on this side, and I mean, they do have some noble swords left, but the Gatii are already pretty much fully committed. The Oathsworn Chosen Swords are being left in the rear for some reason. They're not being pulled in. There's a lot of damage that's being done. These Celtic Warriors and Fierce Swords have done a lot of damage themselves, but they're also taking a lot of damage in return. And the... Oof, okay, so the The tower over here is getting neutralized slightly. The axe warriors are pushing in against these Celtics. These Syrian archers are moving up that way. This heavy spear could open a big hole on that side, and that will put a lot of rear pressure, but Egypt is bringing in Scartly X-Men, and they are shooting their heart's content, and they will do a lot of damage. This primary assault is being broken. Galatian swordsman charging in. Mercenary X-Warriors trying to keep the flow in. Oh boy. Okay, for a second I thought that was a pull through, but it was not. It was simply that they moved through their own unit over there. They've stabilized themselves down from the wreckage. Kushite slave infantry being pulled back. Pilas being thrown left, right and center. This is a massive kill box, and I would not want to be there. Archers firing into the enemy on the defensive archers. That is a really good shot. Missing quite a bit of shots because they're being used to dodge, but I see that they use precision shot, which made them much stronger for a short period of time. At this point I would just simply try to break this Celtic warrior unit, even though now it's being supported. These Gallic hunters are doing a lot of damage, shooting into the rear of those units, and that's helping them break faster. Another breach was made here, but again, Kushite slave infantry, Chotal units, Arch, Numidian bowmen, a lot of troops are being committed there. There's an Oathsworn unit there as well. They've moved the siege tower out of place, and this artillery should they're moving all the siege towers out of place now, and this artillery should be able to aim over there in a fashion. Yeah, it's a clean line of sight. You should just fire 1 or 2 shots, it would be down. Even with this, it should be 1 or 2 shots and it would do a lot of damage. Now this building collapsed, but it did not do any kills. Yesterday I noticed in the battle between Grease Elites and Carpe Venom that you can easily kill a lot of units just breaking down the buildings, and around them they die. So I'm gonna try and experiment that in the next few days. Like for example, if this thing collapses, what happens? You know, if certain buildings collapse, if this building collapses, will the people around it die? So it could be really useful in the future to see how much damage you could do to the defense by killing the units they're using for support and cover. This tower over there is not going to last for long. Fireballs landing in left, right and center. The slave infantry and Oathsworn getting very heavily damaged. Archers up here, Carrion Axemen shooting into the archers, doing a lot of damage. These Taurus spears down here getting really heavily bullied, and it's not going well. There's some fierce swords back here, and as I was saying, light horse coming in. That light horse is not going to do very well against the heavy spears, but it's going to do enough to distract them for as long as needed. You know, 2 horse units here, 2 horse units the other side, like right over here. It would have been enough to figure out what's going to happen and where you can defend. Now, I would like to say that the attackers are losing the center, but the archers are in a really good position where they can deal a lot of damage for quite cheap. So both sides are losing a lot of units over here, but the defense is losing lots of fierce swords, and that's pretty much the entire army of the Nervii, which is now pulling back some troops, and they're not getting that many good kills, because you'd want fierce swords to get 200 kills on average. I mean, these Celtic warriors over here have held on for a long time, but yeah, it's not going that well. Archers are being moved around all the time. Now Thorax swordsmen are being pulled in, and the Thorax swordsmen along with the Arveni troops should be enough to break through this and secure a foothold. These lighthouse over there took a lot of damage. The corner wall over here might collapse, but these Celtic warriors are charging outside of the settlement and will attack. Are they charging outside? Yeah, they are. They are charging outside. And if they charge outside and stop this, it will be bad news for the yeah, Pilatro. No Pilatro. Oh. Okay, they're just 2-3 hits from breaking that. So that assault over there is being stopped. Thorax swordsman charging in, and yeah, the gatehouse was taken back, and the assault is going to keep going on, and it's looking pretty at all. I'm not sure why they're tunnel visioning down this road, because they can do so much more by assaulting all these areas at the same time. The artillery, of course, would have been more useful if it was close range artillery. They would have brought it here, and they just shotgunned all of this out of the way pretty easily. There's a Camel Spearman in here, which is a very interesting choice, because none of the attackers, I mean the Seleucids you could say, and the Noble Horse from the Arveni, Even the noble horse for the gate, yeah, alright, that's absolutely fine, because camel spearmen are amazing anti-infantry, and sorry, anti-cavalry units. It does a lot of damage towards cavalry. But as we're saying, there's the fierce swords over here, and Oathsworn are being targeted by archers, and that's a really good shot. Maybe the line will break finally. The thorax swords charging in are now being countercharged by Kyrian axemen and more slave infantry. Shotel units were not really brought forward. I mean, there are Shotel units back here which we can see, but they're not being brought forward. The artillery is not being used whatsoever. Again, I'm not entirely sure what the hell is happening, because the artillery could do so much damage, especially this one at this angle could be used to just, you know, turn around and just shoot anything that tries to come in from this side. So they're not using their artillery at all. Galatian swordsmen are breaking, and yeah, the defense over here has finally been overwhelmed. These archers are going to be pulled out, but it's perhaps a little bit too late. These hillmen are quite fast, and they get another Pila throw into that, and they will be able to block this 2 units from going out fully. Slave infantry is charging in to try and block them. Celtic warriors coming in. They need to continue this. They need to charge in all of this inside and secure the gate, because the gatehouse is going to be really important. These 2 units of hillmen and Celtic warriors are getting surrounded and are going to get absolutely slaughtered. Pila throws coming in from the Kyrian axemen, and the Egyptian infantry is going to finish them off. These Gallic hunters are wavering. They have lost quite a few, but now fierce swords are also charging in hillmen, and we will know how that goes. I mean, these hillmen are at 95, down at 82, down to 70. I mean, these guys, yeah, these guys are getting them kills. Noble swords coming in, and noble swords should be able to noble swords will be able to deal with these guys very easily and do the damage necessary. Slave, okay, so Kush is being pushed back, and it seems the defense is actually being pulled back. That is absolutely fantastic. That ballista is getting a lot of kills, and so is this one. They're getting kills into those archers. They should have perhaps done it a bit sooner, especially when there's formations over there. I would even aim at these thorax swords, because those archers are almost out of ammunition, if not already out of ammunition, which would be really good news for the attack. Oh my god, that is a lot of damage. These thorax swords are pretty fresh, and this 80 kills, 90 kills, soon 100 kills. In fact, they're pulling them back, because it got a lot of good hits into there, and it will do a lot. Another thing I would do is I would bait them, move them back here, and break that wall on top of them, because that wall is 99 health. I mean, yeah, it could be a good trap. These noble swords are fighting from both sides. They're surrounded, but that's absolutely fine. There's a lot of troops being held back there, but it's not that much to be worried. Yeah, the artillery is doing numbers on these Shotel warriors. There's some Oathsworn left in the center, which are now being shown, and that could prove to be a good unit for a last stand. Fierce swords are being used over there, and they're breaking. These noble swords are being targeted down in their rear. They're losing terribly. I mean, they're fighting Kyrian axemen from one side and being shot in the back by pretty much anything that you can imagine, and artillery, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, these guys are getting melted, absolutely melted. These hillmen are charging in, and they should just go right around here, put pressure on those archers. Not forget this blob, that's not important. Those archers are what's important, and you need to get rid of them as soon as you can, and it does not seem that is the case. More troops are, I mean, chosen and Oathsworn. There's an Oathsworn unit back here, which is really out of place. There's another, yeah, there are 3 Oathsworn units and 2 chosen, which are not in the fight, and they need to be in the fight ASAP. Troops are being sent over there to try and put pressure on that side. The attackers are not being as effective as they could be. Over here, you could even block that entire thing. So that is something. That is definitely something that could be fixed. And yeah, troops breaking. You know, this is, I don't know why they're not flanking each other more, because they could just definitely put units here and flank, and it could really save the day. Those pools are no longer available, or Egyptian infantry rear charging this chosen swordsman, and the chosen swordsman is engaged with Gallic hunters and fierce swords, so that's not doing well. But that Egyptian infantry getting rear charged by more chosen swordsmen, so it's an Egyptian infantry sandwich. Kyrian axemen over there breaking, but they should come back. They are 78 men. They're not completely shattered. troops are being put on the wall over here, and there's a unit of heavy spears which could block that from happening. And this Celtic warrior unit, if this starts hitting, could that spear unit is going to die. That spear unit is going to absolutely get molested in so many bad ways. Okay, this Torx swordsman needs to start pushing in and breaking. The archers over here are getting a field day shooting into the assault as it's coming in. These noble swords are not having a fun time. The Oathsworn are being pulled in. Fine. No, the chosen swords over there. These two are just forgotten in the rear. Absolutely forgotten. More chosen swords are being brought in. There's another 2 noble swords units. How much kills? 154 kills on that artillery. 300 kills on this artillery. Wow. Then again, he could have been firing into the gaps over. Yeah, he's been firing into these units and getting a lot of good kills in that Shoto. This artillery is at 99 kills and this artillery is at 34. So there is that as well. The generals pushed back. Ooh. Yeah, that artillery is being used effectively, very, very effectively, and it's doing a lot of damage. So these Torx swordsmen, it's 160 kills, doing well. But yeah, I mean, this flank could have easily been destroyed. So Torx over there, the Egyptian infantry, yeah, this is could merit some. What did they do? Why did they breach here? What? I am so utterly confused. Breaching this would have been giving you twice the amount of space and giving you the opportunity of crushing. I mean, they did charge their Torx swordsman in there. I am very confused as to the decision to do that. Maybe that artillery. No, it's a little too. Could fit. Let's see. It could fire. No, it could hit that. It's a possibility it could hit that. Not necessarily, but it is a possibility, definitely. Anyway, as we were saying, we are moving forward. I don't know what happened. The recording stopped for a second, so I had to restart it again. But it's definitely from the same place. Almost sneezed though. That's the only update I have from what was happening. And as we were saying, the assault is moving in. These Shotel units are getting plastered, and those Shotel units at this point, you want them to be engaged fully with these, these chosen swords especially, getting kills. These chosen swords are munching through the Carrion X-Men, and they're pushing forward. The Flaxmen charging in a beautiful side flank charge over there and doing a lot of damage. Flaxmen, one volley of arrows would be more than enough to kill them, so get them over here and charge in while these Galatian swords, I imagine, are pinned down by the chosen swords, and it seems that's what they're trying to do. They're rear charging these fierce swords, and they will get kills. Yeah, they're getting a lot of kills. Some friendly fire, but they managed to break. Yeah, they got like 30 kills in one go over there, and they just need to charge in and overwhelm the defense over here, because the defense is not pulling back whatsoever. It should either pull back to there and just give up on this location. It should give up on this location, pull back to the settlement, pull back to here, and just hold a concave. Because the damage they did in the start is now not paying off at all. The assault on this Kush is not doing well, it's not faring well whatsoever. And Oathsworn are being pulled in. This is not a situation you want to find yourself in. These archers, Cretan archers, are getting killed by Syrian archers back here. Honestly, these Syrian archers are very fresh, and I'm not sure what these guys are firing at. These Shotel warriors are moving very slowly through the breaches over there. At this point, I would even just myself manually shoot down this wall, force it to fall down on his troops, and just force him to panic slightly. Okay, the Cretan archers winning that engagement over there. More Cretan archers back here. Terror spears being moved in, and troops are being used to fire left, right, and center. Torx swordsmen over there collapsing. Gallic hunters. Just the assault seems to be going well. The Oathsworn general is being moved in. Okay, the Oathsworn are being brought into the fold. Is there an Oathsworn unit in here? There's chosen swords over there and chosen swords over there. It seems there is an Oathsworn unit back here. So there's still some Oathsworn units which could be the cleanup crew. They could even charge in from this side and start doing a lot of damage to the rear of this force. Like, I don't know why they, kept committing to this side. They had breaches. They could have flanked all of these forces, and it would have done so much damage. It seems this one did try to flank, but they did not have enough troops to support it. Then again, it's doing very well against 3 units, and that Flaxman over there, 178 kills. Absolute beauty. They should be, these archers should be focus firing these guys down, but even then, they've paid themselves off. The Oathsworn general just died before the Nervii, and it seems there is a full-on retreat for the defense. They're trying to just hold up at the next layer and just keep holding on for dear life. Archers shooting left, right, and center and doing a lot of damage. I don't understand where there's no retreat from the SBG, SGB. I'm very confused with the name. SGB. Sorry, SGB. I keep confusing the name, and it seems to be going very, very good for the Honey Badgers Brigade, which is going quite smoothly and forward. Charging in troops from every single angle. This assault over here seems to have failed. They're Camel Spearmen coming in, and the Camel Spearmen will gonna have a free reign. If they're not noticed, they can kill a lot of units back here, these archers. Then again, these archers are they? Yeah, they're out of ammo, and 241 kills. It's absolutely amazing. Really good show. 25 minutes left of this game though. That's quite amazing. So yeah, let's keep going forward and let's see what we will manage to see with this fight. I mean, they still have potential. They just need to pull back. The attackers themselves are really low on troops, really low on missiles, but the defense does not seems to be intent of pulling back whatsoever, and that could be spell their doom. I mean, they're doing a lot of damage here. The Totalwar is definitely doing really well against Chosen with this help of the Galatian swords over there. The Celtic Warriors could use some support from the slave infantry, and the Kush Numidian bowmen over there are just peppering down everything that's trying to come too close to them. I think the cavalry was pulled back into the settlement and left there. Okay, so there is Total Warriors back there. Okay, the cavalry is just eating away at the artillery. 198 kills from that artillery and 310 kills from that. So those artillery definitely paid for themselves. There's the Oathsworn charging into the Shota, and the Shota we're not going to stand a very good chance over there. A flanking charge into these Kushite slaves will do really well from by this general. Could essentially break this in one charge and open again this entire area for a lot of damage. Somehow these Torx swordsmen managed to make it back here from one end or the other. These noble swords could charge into these Numidians and slaughter them. They are free kills, and the Carrion Axemen will not be able to do much against noble swords. The Taurus spears over here preparing their PLS, but I think they're wasting their PLS shooting into the building. Lots of breaking units over here again. One cav unit at this point would have been enough to just charge him back here and just do ridiculous volumes of damage into those Cretan archers, which are 150 kills, so they're pretty much getting out of ammo soon. 124. Yeah, all of these bowmen did really well in general. There is still a Cretan archers here with 21 kills, which got really badly damaged. So the assault is winning again in the missile fire. Even the Assyrian archers with 1 chevron doing really well over there, and I think they got their chevron from the amount of kills they've obtained. The Gallic hunters, yeah, they've broken that. This side is being broken really easily. Oathsworn up 60 kills. They're fighting 2 Shoulder units, so they're fighting really expensive units. This general did not charge in whatsoever. Shotel number 1 broke. These Cretan archers are dying really fast. Rhodian slingers are shooting from up there and trying to get into the flanks of these Oathsworn, which are not going to do that much. As I was saying, yeah, those noble swords killed those guys really easily, and now are charging into the rear of this mess, and that could cause a mass rout as they're cutting off the retreat angle up here. There are some Oathsworn, there are some armored Chotel which will hold this off for a long time, but at this point, if you break this, these guys will start breaking really easily. Yeah, he's charging up the hill, and I would just do an attack command on those raging slingers, because it seems that the defense did not realize what is happening and what they could do with a very, very small push from their end. It seems they just noticed last second. So Gallic Hunters, lots of troops left in here. Royal Kushite Archers, there are Royal Peltas, Galatian Royal Guard, so there's some elite units in here that are left for the final stand. These Noble Swords could start... I honestly think they should have charged then. They start neutralizing that tower, and it would do ridiculous volumes of damage. Just neutralizing that tower and charging it. Yeah, but now the Oathsworn charged them in and getting the charge bonus. These Oathsworn should be charging those Cretan archers which are attacking them point blank. They're being pulled back. Pila shots from them, 142 kills. They're still quite intact. So the assault is doing relatively well, but now they have the last hurdle to overcome, which is not going to be good at all for them. I really hope that the defense knew that they could pull in their troops as long as they are in retreat and they've provided a fight, because some people didn't seem to understand that in the rules, which is absolutely fine. But they were, it seems as if they're scared to do so because of the situation. But so be it. We'll have to clarify this afterwards again, maybe if we do another tournament of the same sort. Routing units everywhere, the assault doesn't have that much left. These Camel Spearmen, having enjoyed killing a few units here and there, this Celtic Ballista is just about to get completely slaughtered. Yeah, that charge was just nasty there. Troops left, Peltas, Silver Shield Pikemen, some Noble Swords back here, a couple of Oathsworn units, and a lot of Archers, Taurus Spears, some Torok Swordsmen here and there. So there is definitely potential. Not a lot, but there is definitely potential. If these Radiant Slingers are killed, which seems they are actually at a bad angle, so they're getting slaughtered by these Archers, it would seem that the defense would lose its missile superiority, which is not the best of ideas. I mean, they did get decent kills with this ballista, but the other two ballistas, would they still have ammo? Because they're moving it. I would like to believe they still have ammunition, and they're just waiting for them to come across from here. Yes, they do. Oh, that is a nasty shot. That is an absolutely ridiculous shot over there. Beautiful shot by that ballista. Absolutely amazing. Second one not so much, but the first one got like 20-30 kills over there in one go, which is absolutely beautiful, and it is doing wonders. Okay, now it's not, now they're not shooting at all. These slingers are still getting kills, and I don't know, I mean, I understand that this is a very difficult point to attack, but it seems they're pulling all of their army into this square, capturing the different victory points and capture points to increase their morale and reduce the morale for the defense as much as possible. There are still some arrows left here which could be useful in taking out these slingers and these ballistas. That ballista unfortunately wasted a lot of its shots over there, doing a horrendous job of the situation of managing that stuff. Now, how do you kill these Galatian Royal Guard and Armored Shuttle? Point blank shots to the face with heavy shot and precision shot activated. You try to lure them out and try to hope as much as you can that you're doing all the damage you can to them. The troops are being rearranged, and if we look up here, from what I understand, the attackers do not have that much left. They are really low on troops, and whereas the defenders, even though they're low on troops, the balance of power is in favor of the attackers. They have the elite troops which are super fresh and ready to fight. They have Oathsworn, they have Armored Shuttle, 2 units of them, Royal Peltas, Galatian Royal Guard, they have the shebang, and that's going to be really difficult to break. So I'm going to fast forward until these two teams manage to get into the right position, and we'll continue from there. It seems that the Shuttle, the Kush, is pushing us slightly forward. The cavalry is being pushed in, and that cavalry could do a lot of damage on those archers. In fact, Seleucid notices last second and pulls them back. He leaves a unit of archers here. Okay, let's slow down again. He leaves a unit of archers there, which I believe are out of ammunition, and he managed to scare these Camel Spearmen away. 114 kills over there. Killing those two artillery crews was really good for them. Armored Shuttle is being pushed out again. I'm not sure why they're pushing out. They hold the high ground. They hold the really good locations. They're going to end up surrounding this area if they allow it. And troops are being stretched to their limit. These noble swords were basically sacrificed over there, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20 noble swords or plus sacrificed for free. These camel spearmen charging in, again, these nation bows shooting point blank, trying to get a few kills on those camels and doing some damage as much as possible over there. They're abandoning this position that they fought so heavily to win, and they're trying to get in on this side. I am not entirely sure what they're thinking, but again, let's fast forward slightly and see where this situation will take us. Troops are being pushed in, and possibly to contest this region over there and do as much damage as possible to those units by the Toro Spears, which might still have some ammunition. Yeah, ammunition is being brought forward to try and prepare those units down and do as much damage as possible, because I understand once you're inside that fortress, there's no way that you can get out of there easily whatsoever. Pressure is being placed on the Shotel. The armored Shotel is being pulled back in for reasons. I don't know why they closed the gate. Possibly to get the... Oh, these guys are down to 2 men, so they can't really fire. Possibly they're closing the gates so as to make sure that the units that come back in... Oh, seriously, they could have simply just walked through the breach. So I'm not sure. These Syrian archers are... Yeah, why are they being sacrificed? I mean, they're trying to waste the ammo of these slingers. Those slingers have a lot of ammo. He's firing at... Yeah, he should be firing up here at these units, trying to break them as much as possible. There's a charge being organized on this side. Again, these are Gallic hunters with ammunition, and they could do a lot of damage if they are allowed. These camel spearmen slightly damaged. Thorax swordsmen not really going to be much of a way to stop them, but apparently it's just enough. Syrian archers being pulled back. There's nothing to protect these. There's the Royal Peltas unit is coming forward. The Syrian archer unit over here, unfortunately, they still had ammunition. That is not pretty. These camel spearmen getting a lot of good kills, getting that unit down by half. Mostly also due to friendly fire being shot in at them. So they're just charging around wherever they can. Archer shots being thrown in by the remainder missile units. Okay, the Rhodean slingers up here were getting absolutely annihilated, but those guys got a lot more kills than they should have. And these camel spearmen finally being taken down with 138 kills to their name, but they've done a lot of damage over here. This was a lot of damage done to these Syrian archers. If you're ever in that situation, stand and fight. That's the best choice you have. If you stand and fight, you'll do a lot of damage, more than you think you would be able to do. Now, with the slingers out of the way, the archers could have a much easier time winning this fight and doing a lot of damage. These Cretan archers back here are being picked off by the noble sword. Yeah, the noble swords should go pick them off and do damage that way. These Rhodean slingers are being pulled in, and they're doing their own thing. So again, once more we'll fast forward and the lull of the battle as both sides just size each other up and try to figure out what the hell is happening. Actually, one of my first videos that actually did really well was on this settlement, and I believe it was Tick Boys Do It Again. It was sent to me by Legido and Scrappy, where they defended this settlement using cavalry. Using elephants, if I remember right. Or the enemy elephants killed the enemy army, or something of the sort. Okay, so there is an assault. There is an assault happening over on this side. The Galatian Royal Guard are getting charged in by noble swords. No Galatian Royal Guard. I mean, they're better. They're going to win in general, but support, noble swords versus Galatian Royal Guard. But then the Oathsworn will do a lot of damage, and this unit will start losing slightly. And there's only one unit of these, where there are 2 more units of Oathsworn, which can do a lot of damage. Noble swords are using Headhunt, which actually triggered properly, which means they have 250 morale, they'll not break. And these guys are losing a lot of men. They did get 50 kills very fast over there. but they are, yeah, they're also using Headhunt 70 melee attack. They're just ripping through. But again, this unit needs to get 400 kills to pay back for what it actually costs. Now, since the archers were peeled off the wall, I mean, there's still some archers left here, but since their slingers are gone, the general for the Kush is being targeted, and once that general is targeted, it's going not to be pretty. Galatian Royal Guard pushing the Oathsworn and actually winning against the Oathsworn unit over there. The Noble Swords have lost, and they need some form of support. More Oathsworn are being pulled in. Archers are shooting into the flank of those units, but they really should be shooting. I mean, from here you have a really good shot into the flank of these Galatian Royal Guard, and that's what you need to use to win against them. Not sword, sword versus sword. They're going to win, and they're going to get a lot of kills. With a few arrow shots, you'll be able to then just go to Kush, because these armored Chotel are going to do a lot of damage. Because remember, these guys have so much armor piercing, 20 armor piercing. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous, and it's going to do so much. Again, you could also push up your pikemen, which would be really useful, since why are you letting your pikemen being silver shield pikemen are absolutely fantastic, and they could be very useful against this blob over here, but you need them to be close by, and they need to be ready to shoot and do the damage necessary. Now, these Taurus Spears have tried to surround the Galatian Royal Guard. The Galatian Royal Guard is still standing firm. Even after being charged by Oathsworn, they are exhausted. No, they're actually still fresh because they're using the abilities. Yeah, they're using second wind abilities. Okay, they're shooting their missiles into the flanks, into these armored Chotel, and that's doing a lot of damage. Syrian archers over here charging and trying to attack the units as best as they can. The defense seems to be holding. There might be a chance that the defense actually hold this properly and wins the fight. So you'd never know what's going to happen. More arrows being thrown in, and lots of damage being done in general, with the Galatian Royal Guard over here suffering a lot of damage in general, and more troops are being brought in. The Chotels are being pulled out. I don't see how the Honey Badgers could win this. Genuinely don't see that. I mean, the Oathsworn unit over here can do a lot of damage. Granted, these two could, pull it off for them, but yeah, that's what they needed to do from the beginning. PLS throws, archers, missiles. This unit of Galatian Royal Guard would not have survived half as much of the time as it did. More Oathsworn being pulled in. Now they're fighting Royal Peltas. Royal Peltas have more attack than Oathsworn, but Oathsworn with Headhunt on should shoot through them for the first bit, and they are doing just exactly that. And Peltas doesn't seem to get their PLS off once this Galatian Royal Guard break. There is Peltas over here, which I don't know who they're shooting, but they're shooting at someone or something. And yeah, these guys need to break up, absolutely. The Galatian Royal Guard once again getting Headhunt triggered. Archers are just shooting in, flanking charge onto these Galatian Royal Guard. Once their Headhunt goes off, they will not be able to do that much damage anymore. They've already done a lot of damage. I'd like to say that they were actually really useful in their situation. But once they break, this blob over here is getting pelted down with missiles left, right and center, and these guys need to be shooting at every possible thing they have into killing this general and killing that Oathsworn unit over there. This Galatian Royal Guard is now down to its base morale, and it could be that they break. The Oathsworn over here is taking a heavy beating fighting them. The Oathsworn over here is fighting really good units. Oathsworn from the Nervii and the Royal Peltas. Noble Swords charge in to give them a respite. Archers just shooting whatever they can find. The Kush general over there doing his thing. The archers from the Norwegian bowmen with no ammunition and what remains of the Shotel are being pulled out and are going to be charged in. Finally, these guys are dying after 200 kills against some of the best units of the game, and now these Oathsworn should be able to charge in from the flanks. The Peltas are being brought to the flank as well and just being detached from the fight, while the Oathsworn are trying to engage on the fight from this flank. The Gallic Hunters over here still have missiles. We should be able to get a decent shot into this flank. Finally, the Silver Pikemen are brought in, and the Silver Pikemen should make short work of this. In fact, the Royal Peltas are being pulled back, and the Oathsworn are left to die pretty much for free against this unit. There's nothing that these guys can really do. They're out of ammunition, with the exception of some ammo left on this general, which would not be that much, and it's just going to be a very difficult situation for everyone involved. That's sad. That's sad. The attackers do not seem to have ammunition. Do they? No, they do not seem to have ammunition left whatsoever, and that's going to be really difficult for them to hold on when they're defeating the last units. These Royal Peltas are done well, and there's Armored Shotel. There's another one over here. Could do a lot of damage. Could do an absolute bucket load of damage if used correctly. Their Pilas are fantastic. Their armor piercing is insane. And as good as these Silver Shield Pikemen are, 20 armor piercing would reduce the amount of damage they do ridiculously fast. These Oathsworn are being pulled back, and they're suffering a lot of damage as they're doing so. They're falling back. These Gallic Hunters are dying. Army loss penalties might get triggered really quickly. The general, did the general die? No. Whose general died? I thought I saw someone's general has died. I'm not sure who. The Silver Shield Pikemen are being pulled back as the archers are shooting and targeting them down, and that's going to be a lot of damage. Okay, so these Oathsworn are back in the fight. The Gallic Hunters are back in the fight over there. This is down to the last nail. The general for Arveni charges in from this side, getting a lot of kills. The general for... okay. The two generals, the Arveni and the Gatii generals, are trying to break these units. And to be honest, if these bunch of units break, it's going to be really bad for the defense, because their damage is going to be reduced and their morale is going to be really severely reduced. The Silver Shield Pikemen just decide to go for it, and they're fighting against Royal Armored Chotel. But now the thing is, the Armored Chotel, technically speaking, should move in from this side and do a lot of damage to the Silver Shield Pikemen. But at the same time, the Armored Chotel are being picked off one by one as the Silver Shield Pikemen got into a position. That's really advantageous. And as I'm saying, this Oathsworn did a lot of damage breaking those extra units that were left. And the army loss penalty should be inflicted any moment now. The bounce power is shuffling itself towards in favor of the attackers, and it is just a matter of minutes now till this breaks. As you can see, the Kush line is really thinning over here. It's being pulled back, and once it pulls back, there's going to be an assault from that side, hopefully from the Gatii general pushing in. Noble swords, Royal Peltas coming in, more Oathsworn coming in. These Kushite soldiers are really low. They're really low on troops. More troops are being charged in over there, and it's just yeah, this is the... Those pikemen are doing really well. 177 kills against these really high tier units. Absolutely fantastic. General charges over there, and this is... I mean, these guys should hold for a bit, but it doesn't look good. The general for the Royal Peltas is dying. The Oathsworn general. Where is the Oathsworn general? Did the Oathsworn general die for the Nervii? Either that, or he's hiding somewhere over there. It does not look good, not one bit. Yeah, the Silver Shield Pikemen are murdering them. Army loss penalties should be hit soon. The general for Egypt is about to die. He's down 26, he's routed, and army loss penalties. Oathsworn routing over there, and once this general dies, it's GG. There's nothing else they can do. This armored Chotel unit will clean up these noble swords, but at this point, there's not really much they could do. They're trying to stall for time. They're getting on top of this building, but even then, they're getting killed slowly, and as they're going up by the noble swords, they're capturing the center of the town, and if they surround these armored Chotel, they could break pretty much instantly, especially with 3 generals attacking them. The morale buff for the attackers would be absolutely ridiculous. This was a very fun game. This assault was absolutely well defended from this side. They did a lot of damage to the attackers. Fortunately, they started losing over here when they did not pull back their troops properly. They did not hold their lines here, here, and here, which is ideal in this situation, or even simply just here, cutting the map in half, giving half the map to the attackers, and just then defending here and making sure they can keep pressure on the side of the attackers. the ability of the attackers to move their archers everywhere helped them a lot, and over here these Cretan archers that were lost cost a lot to the defense. These armored Chotal are fighting till the end, but now, yeah, they lost 20 men in an instant, and they're getting chewed down really fast. The general for the Gatii over there doing really well, but getting really beat up. So Ulfir was the Gatii, Dan was Arveni, Maximus Decimus Mauritius was Seleucids. Gissa to the win is Egypt, Kush was Martin Vangelis, and RMST1 was Nervii. So let's see overall kills and damage. So Ulfir doing really well with his artillery and his archers. His Flaxmen doing incredibly well, and his Axe-Warriors and Heavy Spears that were the first to go into the walls, of course, didn't do so well. But then his Noble Swords pulled the weight. Dan's Oathsworn and Artillery just doing absolute miracles, whereas his Chosen Sword being the backup, the backbone that helped them break through the choke at the start. Gallicanter is doing really well. I'm quite impressed by 241 kills, it's not easy. And Maximus, at the end, his Silver Shield Pikeman broke the final last stand of the defense, which could have helped them win if it wasn't for that pikeman. In this case, pikeman would have been an absolute must. With regards to the defense, I love they did bring some cavalry, but maybe they needed a little bit more. I wouldn't have got Galatian Royal Guard. I would have removed 2 or 3 of these Galatian swordsmen, got myself some more Thorax swords just to help. I would have got a Cataphract General instead of Royal Peltas, maybe even 2 Royal Peltas and Cataphract General, and that would have done a lot more. Carry and X-Men is a decent choice, they're really good and quite cheap. Archers overall doing meh, they could have done much better. Again, these archers, this one did nothing. These slingers did okay, but again, slingers could do better, but can't really complain about that. But this one needed to do more, and these 2 needed to do way more. This one kind of paid for itself, the general kind of paid for itself, but the rest needed to do more. And RMSDI, I mean, overall he did the most kills in his team, but his Fierce Swords at the start were being massacred by super cheap units. I would have sent in my Celtic Warriors, tired everyone out, wasted a lot of the ammunition, and then charged in my Fierce Swords towards the end, not the other way around. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It was lovely video, lovely game, and yeah, if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. And this was part of the losers brackets of the Colosseum tournament, which is still going on. We're currently going with the semi-finals of the main bracket, and the finals will be in 2 weeks. And with regards to the loser bracket, it's currently going on, and I'm going to try and upload as much as possible. Joe on it will be uploading as much as possible as well, and I believe Ellington might be uploading some stuff as well as Captain, but I'm not sure that's going on that angle. Anyway, guys, thanks for... Oh, there's also Scouts of Entertainment. I forgot about him because he joined in later on. But yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, just giving everyone a shout out. I'll link their links in the description as always. Guys, take care. See you around. Bye bye.